Dallas is our next stop. The Dallas Morning News reporting the Cowboys have not yet had contract talks with George Pickens. Yesterday at the Pro Bowl, Pickens told reporters his value is up. He wants to be in Dallas. He may be open to being franchise tagged. His quarterback, Dak Prescott, was asked about improving the Cowboys' defense and had this to say.
It's important offseason. We know we got to get that side of the ball right, but we got to make sure that we mark the place with what we've done on our side of the ball. We got to get one of our guys signed and make sure that we take a big step on offense as well.
You said get one of your guys signed.
Yeah.
Which one you talking about?
Yeah, the guy out here. The guy out here that doesn't have the contract. No matter whichever way that they got to do it, he's an important piece of this offense, important piece of what we're trying to do. And so,
very important.
Leave it to those guys. Obviously, if I need to get involved, I've said before I will. Confident in Jerry and everybody who makes those decisions and how much he means to it.
All right, so Dak wants the guy. So what are you?
He's so good. Like, you're just looking at that. He's just jumping over people, casually making one-hand catches. Like, I'm with Dak. Sign him up.
You would just give him the long-term deal right now.
J-Mac.
No, because sitting from where I'm sitting, going back to what Greeny said, where I don't have to have any accountability to any decision that I have to make. Give him the bag, give him all the money. They're probably going to franchise him.
They are probably going to franchise him, and there are some good reasons for it. Number one, the franchise tag will probably come in a little under $29 million for wide receivers this year. That would make him, I believe, the 11th highest paid wide receiver as of now. They already pay CeeDee Lamb $34 million a year.
Yeah.
So when you say just get him signed, my question is always, for how much?
Yeah.
Is he going to want CeeDee Lamb money? In which case, I don't think the Cowboys can do that for a number of reasons. Is he going to be willing to be the Devontae Smith to CeeDee Lamb's A.J. Brown, the T. Higgins to
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase in the contract structure? If he'd do a deal in the mid-20s, high 20s, Dallas probably listens. But I don't think that's where he's thinking his value lies after the season he just had. The question is, how much do you want to spend on that one position in terms of resources? If you're Dallas, the way they've operated their salary cap over the last few years indicates that it's not going to be open and shut.
Let's be honest. What we're all really excited about is that franchise tag and to see if he'll play under the chair. There's a lot of dudes who'll walk out there. How hard you play for the franchise tag is a completely different thing. That, to me, is the most interesting. You start having that conversation about franchise, which is fair, and I fully agree. I would do the same, right? We saw a couple games where he looked very disinterested in the game, and so that's the balance that Dallas is going to have to kind of go through or tread lightly on. How does this work out?
But that's the thing. The other thing about a long-term commitment, because he came from Pittsburgh with some warnings and some history about that kind of thing. Now it's possible he's getting older, maturing, whatever. Like it's possible he's put that behind him, and he was excellent for Dallas this year. I never heard any complaints from inside that building about the way he conducted himself, how hard he played, how hard he practiced. So you hope that, but if you're Dallas and you have the franchise tag at your disposal, and it's a pretty cool number, right? You're still going to get almost $29 million.
Yeah, players don't look at that as a cool number. I appreciate what you're saying.
No doubt about it.
We are one low hit away from a DB cutting your legs out that it's a done deal. You'd much rather go long term. And I do appreciate the amount of money, but that doesn't change the fact that a long-term deal secures him a completely different fashion.
Yeah, if I'm George Pickens, like the hell with the franchise tag. He just had a career year. You try to maximize on that. So to what Graz is saying, you're sitting in the Cowboys seat. You're like, nah, let's kind of wait and see how this thing plays out over the course of a next season. But if you're Pickens, you're pushing the limit on that. Do not franchise tag me. I want a long-term deal. Doesn't have to be a 5-6 year. Give me a 3-year deal with a little bit more guarantees on it so I can maximize the season I just had.
It's going to be a fun offseason. It's going to be a fun.
And I want more. And I want CeeDee Lamb money.
Jerry in charge of it. This could be literally the day before the season. We've seen it, folks. The day before the season. We have a lot of fun ahead.
The other question on George Pickens is, can he rush the passer? Because that seems to me to be the real problem where they need to consider spending at least some of their money.
Those guys cost a lot, too.
Yeah,
they do.
Exactly. So we'll see.
Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I'm going to say I'm back, bitches. I am back. I know I have been lacking on taking care of business here on the Jobu Sports Report, but it's time to get this shit going here. And I have to say, I am excited about what is happening right now. The Eagles are imploding, and the Dallas Cowboys have an opportunity to get back where they belong. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say to you Eagle fans out there who think, you see, you know what? You Eagle fans are some sensitive-ass biatches. You are some sensitive-ass biatches who literally out here just talking about breaking Dak Prescott's freaking neck. I go ahead and I talk about Reed Blankenship. I'm sorry, not Reed Blankenship. We'll get to Reed Blankenship here in a minute. Landon Collins, I believe it is, who's talking about retiring because he's had a multitude of injuries. Dan Saleo was talking about, I believe yesterday or the day before, about he's had like 14 surgeries. And unfortunately, it's one of those crazy things that some guys, like Deacon Jones, can play like 14 years and never have a major injury. And other guys just always have a whole bunch. I am not celebrating and saying, I'm glad he's broke. No. I did not do that. But the reality is players get injured, and it is part of the game. And Lord knows the Dallas Cowboys have had their share of injuries over the last couple of years. Hell, look at Tyron Smith the last few years he was here. He played more games off the field than actually being on the field. Tony Romo, of course, in his back, where it was like three things would always happen the last couple of years of Tony Romo. He would make an incredible pass, and you'd be like, oh, that's my boy, Tony Romo. Or it would be a Tony, oh, no. Or it would be Tony Romo wouldn't get up off the field. So don't accuse me of shit that I did not do, okay? Sending me emails telling me do better. Do better. I didn't go ahead, hey, I'm glad he's... No, I didn't do that. What I did make fun of is the fact that the Eagles are having more and more problems on a daily basis. I don't know that anybody thought that Landon Collins was going to be talking about retiring this year. I didn't think so. We all knew that Lane was contemplating it because he's, again, in a similar situation and he's older. And then, of course, we had Jeff Stoutland the day before who was kind of like, you know what? I'm done with you mother humpers right here, okay? So I'm excited that the Eagles are falling, that they got issues, that they've got Sean the Minnow. That's right. I call him not Minion, Minnow. He's like a little fish, a little baby fish, okay? He's like a little sardine. Actually, sardines aren't minnows. But you understand what I'm saying here, okay? Now, before we get deeper into it, let's take care of my good buddies from Sleeper.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using code JOBRO. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Make sure you call your shot on Sleeper right now. Now, you know, this is a crazy thing, okay? I think I'm in an alternate universe right now because the Eagles are now the drama queens. The Eagles are the drama queens, and it's getting cold here again, okay? Now, tomorrow, like right now, I think it's like 28 degrees. It's going to be like 20 degrees at like 2 a.m., and then it's going to get really cold. So at like 8 a.m., it's supposed to be like 18 degrees, and then it's going to continue to drop. And we got like -0 wind chills that are going on, okay? So it's going to be really, really cold this weekend. And I got the perfect thing today, okay? Because, I'm in an old house, and I didn't want to it'd be nice to put new windows in, but they're not original. These windows have been in here for, I think these have been here for like 150 years. I don't think they're original to the house. I think they were part of the upgrade. But they're not real weather tight. So I got something today in the mail. From the Queen Cockroach and her daughter. So before we get a little bit deeper, Mark, from the warmth at the windows at the red brick house. Oh, my goodness. I got me a whole letter, but I'm not going to read that letter to you guys because that's personal. But it's from the Queen Cockroach. But check this out. Ooh, Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Look at this. An Afghan. Look at the cowboy colors. Look at that. We got the midnight blue, and we got the lighter blue. Oh, thank you. And you know what? This is going on right now. Oh, man. Because, see, now I'm an old man. Thank you, Nico. I appreciate this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. So, Bobby, too much hate in the world right now. Bro, I got no hate. I got no hate for Eagles or Eagle fans. Bobby, you know I love you, bro. You know I love you. There's no hate in my heart. No hate whatsoever. It is me trying to catch up to you guys. And I smell blood in the water. There's no hate, bro. And you know I love you, okay? And, you know, like Nico. Nico is Queen Cockroach of the Eagle fans. And she sent me an Afghan. I appreciate it. Let me say hello to all the lovely ladies. We got Lady Libra double dipping on both channels. Appreciate you, Lady Libra. We got Nico. Thank you, Nico. Oh, my goodness. I feel warmer already. Oh, man. Sugar Daddy's in the house. DC for Life Gilly's in the house. Jeff Lee. My name is Jeff, and I like boobies. We got Shane Devlin in the house. What's up, Shane? Big Spank Dog. Nobody wants to play in that. Okay, there. You know, actually, Big Spank Dog, you might want to say nobody wants to play in Philly. That might be the way to go. Because it seemed like everybody wants to retire or get out of town. Holly, the lovely, talented Horny Pierce. And let's see who else we got up in here. We got George DK. What's up, you Uncle Mark? Alan Williams is in the house. Jeff Lee. Let's see. Roland's Review. What's up, Roland? How are you doing? We got Thomas Garrett. I'm tired of seeing all this snow and cold and trees falling down in my front yard. Garrett. And I think we got Nico. And we got Nico and Steven. And everybody else. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good tonight. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not, knocked the heck out, sleepy and all that. Job is going really good and everything else. But I'm really excited. Now, we got the Super Bowl this weekend, and it's Philly 500 is feeling kind of sad right now. Now, I will say I'm a guy with a day job, okay? I do not work for ESPN or for the NFL. Or Dirty Sanchez, you're about 80 today. I hate this cold. I'm indeed praying. Mark, everything is gone. Oh, it's gone. Well, it's not gone here. Bro, I literally I've got metal roofs, and I don't have the snow feet. I'm going to have to get some. But there's snow off of the porch that is sliding off, and so it freezes as there's sloth. So it's almost like an awning that's curved. I keep knocking and breaking it off because I'm afraid it's going to get so much that it's finally going to go and pull everything and just break my deck. It's crazy. It's still so cold at night that the snow and sleet is just like it's ice. Still just ice. It's just been bad, man. I'm sick of this shit. But come Tuesday, it's supposed to be like 50. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's going to be 40s and 50s. So it's good. It's 80 degrees. Oh, my God. What's weird is Cousin Eddie, who may be going with us in the draft, said it's 37 degrees there in Minneapolis. I'm like, how is it colder here than Minneapolis? What did I do? I hear Nick Sirianni going to debate that. Oh, no, we don't want that stang, Bobby. You can keep Nick Sirianni. You can keep him. We don't want him. Okay, so back to this thing that I am just an amateur, okay? I am Joe the Cowboy fan here that loves to talk about the Cowboys, football, and piss off Eagle fans. That is my calling in life. And for whatever reason, people sometimes like to watch. I appreciate it. I'm happy about it, and so on. The thing is sometimes I listen to the experts, and I wonder, do they know what the hell they're talking about? Because that clip that I played with CeeDee Lamb, and they're talking about, well, the Cowboys, they could just franchise tag him because they don't want to get a long-term deal because, they're already paying CeeDee Lamb $34 million, and, a long-term deal, you're going to pay him, $34 million, then, you can't have that. And it's like, so you're saying that the franchise tag is a bargain. Is that what because he's saying, it's a franchise tag, you're the 11th highest paid, which is true per year. But I am Joe the fan, and I understand at least a little bit of how the cap works. I understand that the franchise tag is a hard number. And part of the reason why the Cowboys have had such a problem with the cap is because they use the franchise tag more than anybody else. You think I'm lying? Let me show you guys something here, okay? I want you to understand. In 24, CeeDee Lamb got his contract, okay? His cap number was $8.75 million. For the first year of $34 million contract. $8.75 million. Last year, it was $15.332 million. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're looking at that and say, yeah, but Mark, man, look at him for this year. He's $38 million this year. Well, technically, if you look at it and say, his average is $34.5 million, right? But you only paid $23 the first 2 years. You understand the numbers? We're talking about 28. So I want you to understand, if you franchise tag George Pickens for 1 year and decide you want to keep him after that, you're going to end up paying more than $28 million. But I want you to understand that CeeDee Lamb, for the first 2 years of his contract, was $5 million less than what you would pay this year for George Pickens. Do y'all get that? When they keep saying, oh, well, the Cowboys should just franchise tag him and, then they're done. What? Are you stupid? You get paid to put this garbage out here? Now, check this shit out. If you want to learn a little bit more, I suggest you definitely go ahead and try and do this too. I like to use Over the Cap, but there's Sports Track too, which is really good. If you go over, you see where it says dead money here. If you click on the little down arrow, there's a thing called restructure. And if you restructure, okay, this is where you can basically kick the can down the road some more. You can take CeeDee Lamb's contract of $38 million and you can save $19 million on it this year. So what you're saying is, for the first 3 years of CeeDee Lamb's contract, you spent $8.75 million, $15 million, and then $19 million. All less than what it would cost for a franchise tag for 1 year. And the way that the numbers are going up for wide receivers, you can probably say that by the time, if you don't sign George Pickens to a long-term deal now, you can probably look at it and say it'll probably, with an additional $25 million on the salary cap, with the salary cap going up $100 million in the last 4 years, you can probably look and say it's going to be close to $50 million for the top of the market. And understand with working with the salary cap, you're better to pay somebody now and push it down the road because it'll be a smaller percentage. Dak is 25% of the team's salary. Good luck. But here's the thing, though, Bobby. It's called restructuring. It's what the Eagles have been doing for years. Bobby, here's where you end up giving me a hard way to go. But let me do something here for you. Cap space. Let me go to the Eagles. Now, here's the only problem. Here's the only problem right here. I'm going to pull this up for you, Bobby. Now, Bobby, you think I'm hating. I'm not hating on you. But listen, Landon Dickerson. Let's look at Landon Dickerson. Okay, let's go here because I want to educate you. So, Landon Dickerson signed an $84 million extension, I believe, last year, right? Which his cap number is only $10.5 million for this year, which is great. But the reason being is they kicked a lot of his money down the road to 29. $35 million is part of the void. Basically, they've done the restructuring already into these contracts. So when you look at it and say, is Landon Dickerson worth $84 million? I'm not sure that he was. Now, the problem is if he retires, that money that's left from his guarantees, that dead money accelerates, and it's $27 million. If he retires after June 1st, then it will be spread out over 2 years. So it would be $15 million this year and then $5 million the next. So that's the problem that the Eagles had. And I wasn't making fun of Dak is 25%. But here's the thing. Same thing with Dak Prescott. You can restructure Dak and get another $40 million. Boom, shakalaka. So the money is not necessarily the problem. Now here's where it even gets even funnier.
How close to the Cowboys
is listening to CeeDee Lamb. Defense is trash. Eagles will still win the division. Bobby, I'm going to get to you in just a second here. Here's where CeeDee Lamb has been Micah-esque as far as doing the rounds. He's everywhere right now talking to everybody about George Pickens. He's doing the work. You would think that he's probably getting a cut from the agent, or he should.
Ways to being in a game like this.
I feel like we're very close. We gotta put the pieces together, right? As we know, our offense was fire, our defense wasn't as good, but once we combine those two things, we got a couple pieces that we need to bring back offensively, and I'm pretty sure everybody here knows exactly who I'm talking about. But get our defense together. And
is George coming back?
He has no choice. Oh. I say that.
He has no choice.
But you're not going to give up any of your. You're not going to defer any of your money or restructure to bring George in.
I mean, if it's necessary.
Oh,
honestly.
Okay.
I'm pretty good, but I know he's going to get every penny that he deserves here in Dallas.
Okay. Now, let me also go through, because again, I know I'm just the village idiot. I know I'm the village idiot here. But here's the thing. They ask him, are you going to restructure your contract, to have more money for George Pickens? Okay. To understand this is not, you know what, I'm going to take money out of my pocket and I'm going to pay George Pickens. Okay? The restructures, Jerry Jones can go through and he can restructure Dak Prescott. He can do CeeDee Lamb. He can do Tyler Smith. He can do Jake Ferguson. He can do Deron Bland. He can do Quinnen Williams. He can do Kenny Clark. He can do all of these restructures to grab money and not have to ask a single one of them to sign anything. Doesn't change how much money the player's getting paid. It's not changing any of that. It's only an accounting situation. The guaranteed money is the guaranteed money. There's no way around it. When you sign that contract, just like Deshaun Watson, who got $230 million guaranteed, it doesn't matter how they could go ahead and say, we're going to put it down 5 years down the road, and we're going to account for it then. At some point, you have to count that guaranteed money. There's no law that says you got to count it all this year or next year, as long as they are still on the roster. If they're retiring or they're cut or whatever, depending on if it's June 1st before or June 1st after, if it's June 1st after, you can account for it over 2 years, unless you structure where you have void years going forward. Restructure all you guys want to still have Dak. And you know what? I'll take Dak over Jalen Hurts right now, too. Bobby. You talk about hate in the world. You got so much hate for the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. I got nothing but love for Jalen Hurts. I hope you keep Jalen Hurts. I hope you keep Nick Sirianni. But right now, I have to say the Cowboys are moving closer to where the Eagles are. I don't know if they'll overtake them, but if things keep happening to the Eagles where you're losing valuable players, because A.J. Brown wants out, Christian Parker wants out, Big Fangio is still on the fence on whether he wants to retire. Jeff Stoutland, he said, you know what, I'm done with this shit. I'm done. I'm out. I'm not saying I'm done with football. I'm done with being here and this bullshit. And that your offensive coordinator is a quarterback coach for 2 seasons. And I can't say it's like, he had Joe Montana as a quarterback. Jordan Love didn't show me anything of being special. The offense wasn't special with the Green Bay Packers. That's your guy with a quarterback and an offense that seems to be limited with an aging running back. You guys are no longer the same team you were this time last year. You can hate me all you want. You can hate me all you want, but that's the truth. That's the thing about football. Not for long. It's hard to stay on top. And when you're successful, people start picking you like vultures. Your players get fat and happy. It's a natural part of it. And because you've played more games, your body's worn down. Eagles will sweep Dallas next season, no doubt. Did they do that this year there? Oh, shit! Bobby, I hope your wife's doing better. I know she's strong. I'm sending prayers for your wife and you. But did you sweep the Cowboys this year with our garbage-ass defense? Oh, shit! I'll wait, Bobby. I'll wait. What says you're going to sweep the Cowboys next year when your team is a worse team? I can say we ain't got nowhere to go but up as far as defense goes. Mark, we could do without Sirianni. We need to handle our crap and get it together. Yeah, y'all are handling some crap all right. Y'all are handling some crap. Big fat cadavers. Big fat cadavers. Bobby is coping. It's called Free Agents and the Draft. Well, and here's where this gets interesting for me. One thing that gets to be really interesting. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, shout out to Michael Anthony Fitness Reaction, who found this little gem for me today. Now, understand, when a ship starts to sink, you know the first thing that gets off? The rats leave the ship. Because they know, hey, this mother humper's going down. I got to find me a new place. My Steelers are moving forward without Aaron Rodgers, Mark. Oh, man, mean metal. There's some players. Cam Hayward is not happy about Mike Tomlin being gone. 6 wins for Dallas, ham off the bone again. Okay, now, let's see. You know what? See, I see Bobby. Pot meat kettle, bro. Pot meat kettle. You sent me an email that said, I am laughing and making fun of injuries. Do better. And you just called ham off the bone again. What's up, Bobby? Come on, Bobby. Bobby, what's up, man? Don't be surprised if A.J. Brown requests a trade. Oh, he sure did 3 times last year. But let's go to the tape here, because this is another one of your own guys being asked about leaving the ship.
Parker made the move to Dallas to replace Eberflus at D.C. How do you feel about the fact he went to Dallas out of all teams?
I mean, I'm just happy for him that he got the opportunity, because I know that was what he wanted to do. Call plays, be a defensive coordinator, run the show. So I'm excited for him. Obviously, I hope he does well, except for 2 times a year. But
I was going to say, going to be tough to face him twice a year.
No, he taught me a lot, though. So,
yeah, I mean, CP is obviously well known now. He helped build our room, especially, and what he brings to the table, coaching wise, and just a person. I mean, he's got it all. So he's going to do great, regardless of where he's at. But no, he's going to do great for sure.
What if he tried getting you to come to Dallas?
That's
what would you tell
story.
him?
I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So.
Would you say no?
I'm still a Philadelphia Eagle, and so I'm not anymore. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Christian Parker made the move to Dallas to replace Eberflus at D.
I'm a Philadelphia Eagle till I'm not anymore. And for those of you out there who don't know, so was Jeff Stoutland, one of the most respected offensive line coaches who literally built the Super Bowl contending year after year Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. Literally took a rugby player and made him an absolute positive beast. And they ran that mother humper out of town. They ran him out of town. He literally just said, peace, man. Stout out. Stout out. In other words, he's saying, I'm sick of this shit. Now, none of this means a thing if the Cowboys don't try to take advantage of it. The Cowboys, I will say, getting Christian Parker. Look at me. Look at me. Christian Parker, look at me.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now. You like a boy?
Christian Parker, look at me. I'm the captain now. Mark, your team sucks and is overpaid. And Cardinals, bro, Kyler Murray. I'm just saying, Cardinal fans, I get it. Your team sucks too. Your team sucks. I love it. You know what? I love the fact that we get Cardinal fans in here talking smack. Jack Vegetables, what's going on? Okay. At least, hey, you know what? Who's going to be your quarterback next year? I'm just asking for a friend there. Do you have a quarterback? Because it looked like Kyler Murray's going to be gone. The world is upside down. Cardinal fans coming to, here's the thing that's funny to me is when Philly 500 found out that Landon Dickerson and Lane Johnson may be both retiring, his first 8 minutes of his video was talking about Mark Holmes and the NFL honors, which was a snooze fest. You could have all the Eagles trash leftovers. Well, you know what? We'll see. You know what? Some of them leftovers are pretty good. They're better than what we had serving over here, Bobby. Okay? And if you think that Christian Parker is a leftover, okay. And if you think Jeff Stoutland is a leftover, okay. You're getting to the point where it's going to be Nick Sirianni and the minnow with Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith. No offensive line and no A.J. Brown and an aging running back. Good luck with that. Good luck with that one. That tush push, get rid of that shit. Cardinals are fart gas. Okay, so now I ask you, is this change we can believe in? Does Jerry Jones wake up and think, I got to do some things different? That's what he's saying. Now, if you ask me, not that anybody did, but I'm going to tell you, I think Jerry Jones is taking a little bit more of a step back. Now, a lot of people will say, yeah, but you got Stephen Jones. He'll mess it up. Stephen Jones is going to be worse than Jerry. But I'm going to say, I think we've gotten a little microcosm of how it's going to be. When Christian Parker was hired, that's got Brian Schottenheimer all over it. We know that Jerry Jones picked Eberflus because he knew Eberflus. Oh, yeah. I remember that guy. He was here, and we liked him and everything else. And, he went to Chicago and things, but he needs a job right now. And, we're family. We can bring him back in, and we can hire him and stuff. Christian Parker, Jerry Jones don't know that guy. That's Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer and Christian Parker have been doing all the interviews for the position coaches. Deep down, Jerry will sabotage him. That may be true, Bobby. That may be true. But what I'm actually thinking right now is Stephen Jones is running the team more. And Stephen Jones, thus far, has had less of a hand micromanaging the coach and the coaching staff. He's actually letting them do the cooking, which might actually be a good thing. Now, I'm crazy. No, Mark, Jerry still needs to resign as president and GM. He's never going to resign, but it may become a place where it's just going to be he is the guy out front. And I'm okay with Jerry Jones being the guy out there just talking his shit and doing whatever, but let other people actually do the job. So here's the take on 105.3 The Fan. And I think that this is actually, when you hear how it's kind of spun, that there is a sense of urgency, that maybe there is, in fact, some hope.
At 877-881-1053, if you want to text into the show, tell me what you think about this latest batch of Jerry Jones quotes. Want your thoughts on this? Are you buying it? I know I tweeted something earlier, and one guy said back on Twitter, he said, seen it all before, been watching this thing for 30 years. It's a failure. But last night, sitting down with various Cowboys beat writers, I guess he took them to a bar, got them some drinks, did about 30 minutes of, updating his viewpoints. Amongst the quotes, if I don't change, I'm not successful. Okay, this builds off of the red carpet gambler quotes last summer, where, he's saying the biggest difference between what I did then and what I do now is risk. Maybe he even acknowledged, maybe I haven't had enough appetite for risk with continuing to build the Cowboys after you win those 3 Super Bowls. It really felt like for decades they've been managing it for return on investment first, and then, yes, of course we want to win. And people will say, well, I hate it when they say Jerry doesn't want to win. He's a super competitive guy. I know, but what are you willing to sacrifice? And, maybe he hasn't been willing to sacrifice or risk, future success, like going all in. You're taking draft picks from the future. You're taking cap space from the future and throwing it this year. And if you don't make it, then the other side of that, you have less resources in theory to team build into the future.
But you didn't do that.
Jerry's coming off of that just a little bit at 877-881-1053. Jerry Jones said he would be willing to bust the budget this offseason. Hoyt says, I asked him tonight to explain what that would look like. We did some things last year that helped us, really helped us. Busting the budget would have to be going beyond that. So, I don't know. Are they saying we're willing to bust the budget if the great player is available under market value? Or what you want to hear is we're willing to overspend a little bit and bust the budget, doing whatever it takes to fill all of the holes on our roster. But what does he mean when he says bust the budget in your mind, Brian?
I think he legitimately feels like, and I'm not going to use the word go for it, but I feel like it's not about market value and stuff like that. I think they're legitimately going to go and try and get some players. I think he's to the point in time that he realizes that, he's talking about the man in the mirror and all that stuff. He has become a very successful businessman, owner, but this last 30 years, I think, is really weighing on him now. And I think this is he feeling like he's running out of shots. And I think he's going to take the shot here. I don't think this is bottom fishing. I don't think it's looking within our price range. I wouldn't be surprised the first couple of days of free agency Dallas is in the middle of all this stuff.
And not to talk age too much. We all get older. It's kind of an uncomfortable conversation, but it's real.
You can talk about it now.
Yeah.
You can talk about it now.
Coming up on 84, this has to happen at some point in the next 5 years or so if you're really going to be able to enjoy it.
There's no question.
Once you get into your 90s, you don't know. Like, there are some people who are still aware. Yeah. Like, you think of a Vin Scully or, Warren Buffett, the great financier who would still sit up there and hold these epic press conferences where he's pontificating on very complex issues, but for most people, once you get into your 90s, you're kind of a spectator. So do you want to be in a mode where you could rah and throw up the fist pumps and go out and party and tear up the town and of course make the most of it and still be present enough to enjoy it? If I'm Jerry Jones, it does add up to me that we got to go. 972 says it's his own kid, Stephen Jones, and he put an R word in there. It's his own R word kid, Stephen Jones, holding him back. Get rid of Stephen Jones. I think that's the biggest thing that's happened here, because Jerry Jones, at his nature, the gambler, the wildcatter, he's still doing it to this day with how he's investing in oil and gas. He wants to make the big swing and invest $1 billion with the potential of making $30 or $40 billion and changing his spot in the overall global wealth pecking order.
Sure.
So, and that's how Jerry Jones won. That's why he got the Cowboys. That's been a huge reason for his success, and it is risky. It's risky as crap. But if you have that gambler mindset, you're doing that because of the thrill and how much it makes you feel alive.
Right.
You don't want to manage things like your accountant would, trying to grind out 4% returns every year. You're taking the big swings for the big wins. And I think Stephen Jones fighting him on Deion Sanders might have been one of the last big fights that he won. And maybe taking the swing for Galloway and Roy Williams in the 2000s was just kind of the last gasp of Stephen saying, look, Dad, you're making it harder on us, not easy. And what you need is both those guys, because I think both mindsets are needed inside of a healthy
good cop and a bad cop. You need a healthy balance, 100%. But I think that, it is fair to say that maybe Stephen's way of thinking is why it's gone that way, at least from free agency, because he has said many times, you're probably going to be overpaying. You're paying great money to good players or good money to average players, right? And I think that that's probably what is going to end up happening for the Cowboys this year. You've just got to accept that. But if you want to be able to fill all the holes in this roster, you're going to need to overpay for some players that maybe don't earn or aren't worth the contract that you're going to give them, especially in this free agent class.
469, is bust the budget better than going all in? Yes. Yeah, I think it is, or it's similar.
Same old talk.
I think they've always said we're a win now team, but they want to win every year. 903, Micah trade, he's going to shake things up this offseason. Yeah, you've seen things differently. I mean, the Quinnen Williams trade was a bit of an overpay. I mean, Dak Prescott's contract has turned out to be an overpay, so you definitely know he has that gear in him. 214, Jerry is desperate. 469, Jerry is not running anything until you hear Steven say it. It's just talk. And that's something we noticed at the press conference. Like, Jerry is more reserved or less willing to say the things that are going to juice the headlights when Steven's sitting right next to him. So I don't know who's actually got the final say in charge, but I think Jerry looks at it like, this is still my team, and we just need him to, give the stiff arm to his son a little bit more.
Well, if Jerry wants to do something, Jerry's going to get that done.
Okay.
He is.
I think so. All
right, so we have been Charlie Brown year after year, every year. Jerry Jones comes out, we're going all in, we're in a win right now mentality, we trust the process and we're gonna get it done because we're trying to get back to them glory hole days and stuff. He says a lot of shit. SS Minnow taking Eagles on a 3-hour tour. Love that, Holly. I love that. Don't you like that? SS Minnow. You added it. You got it. Sean Minnow. Okay, the 3-hour tour. So do we believe that the Cowboys are actually going to be there? That's the first time that I've heard Brian Schottenheimer. Brian, can't think of his last name now. But the first time I've heard him say, Jerry Jones is getting kind of desperate. Dak says Super Bowl again, bouncing checks again. Okay, there. Well, he might be right one of these times. Not the glory hole. Yes, yes, it is. I tell you what, we go to the Super Bowl, it's going to be some glory holes. It ain't going to be no ifs, ands, or not. We're calling him Sean Minnow, okay? Or as Holly puts it, the SS Minnow, the sinking ship, okay? They went on a 3-hour tour, which is the same time as a football game. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Maybe I'll get Miss Tracy to do that. We'll do a boat, and we'll put the Eagle logo on it, 3-hour tour. Very cute, Holly. Okay. Yeah, Holly, shout out to Holly because she got that one right.
Oh, shit!
Will the Cowboys actually be active in free agency? Now, I believe this is different. I know I say this every year. Oh, yeah, but it's different this time. I'm cautiously optimistic that maybe they're changing. The Christian Parker hire, I think, is going to end up being huge. I think it's going to be huge because of the coaching staff that they're putting together, that it's young, motivational guys that know a lot of the young players that are out there, that they can relate, that they can look and say, well, as much as you all say nobody wants to go to Dallas, I have to say that Micah Parsons is regretting leaving Dallas. No ifs or buts about it. I can tell you that he wished he were still back as a Dallas Cowboy. There are a lot of advantages. Income taxes. There is no income tax. Your money goes further there in Dallas. In Dallas, there's a lot of things to do. It's not like Green Bay, okay? Restructure Dak to 2035. You might be able to. Bobby, you know what, Bobby? I hate to do this kind of stuff, Bobby. You're sitting here hating on the Cowboys. Let's go over the cap on your team. Let's go to over the cap on the Eagles because, you got a whole lot. You think that everything's, coming up roses. You traded for Jordan Phillips. We're sitting here trying to figure out, we can franchise tag. At worst case, we can franchise tag George Pickens and we'll be all right. Jalen Phillips, you can't do that. He's going to be going out the door. You can't afford him. But let's go to the Eagles for a second here. Because you have this thing about you're trying to bitch slap us and things. And I understand what it is. Y'all see your team imploding and you want to feel better, so you're coming after the Cowboys. Cardinal fan knows that they've been a disgrace, for their whole history, except for that 1 year where they had a chance against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but Big Ben hit the man right there in the end zone right in front of me. So everybody wants to come back and, talk shit on the Cowboys. I get it. That's the only thing that makes you relevant, Cardinal fan, is, well, Kyler Murray hasn't lost to Dallas. Okay, but he's lost to everybody else, damn it. Yeah, what does that get you? You beat the Cowboys. You ain't winning Super Bowls. You don't even have a winning record. So shut the up. So while we're sitting here talking, because you're up here talking about Cowboys, can restructure Dak to 2035. Well, how about we go to 29? How about we go 4 years from now, bro? How many of these players do you still expect to be on your team, bro? Wait. Let's take a look at it. Jalen Hurts, $97 million. Okay? A.J. Brown, he going to get traded, $29 million. Dallas Goedert, of course, will be long gone. He'll be gone after this year. Lane Johnson, who's talking about retiring, he's still $22 million in 29. Landon Dickerson, In 29, he's talking about retiring. He's a $35 million hit. Saquon Barkley will be a $13 million hit in 29. Do you think he's going to still be playing at the same level there? Bobby? Cam Jurgens, a $16 million hit. He's probably going to be replaced. You understand what I'm saying? In 29, you got $294 million of salary cap money already spent. In 29, with guys that probably won't be on your team. So you can come in here and talk about, oh, well, you can restructure Dak Prescott till 2035. Shit. In 2030, you still got $53 million for A.J. Brown. In 2030, you got $53 million for A.J. Brown. You got $18 million for Saquon Barkley and $29 million scheduled for Cam Jurgens. Oh, shit! So, Bobby, you got anything else to say, bro? Anything. Anything at all, bro. Anything at all. I'm just asking for a friend, bro. Asking for a friend. You want to come here and talk about how bad the Cowboys are? Listen, I ain't mad at you. You shouldn't be mad either, because what the Eagles did was they were able to put a team together that won the Super Bowl. My team ain't done that yet. And in order to do it, you got to get the players, and you're going to have to spend money to do it. It's the bottom line. Cowboys haven't been willing to do it. That's why they haven't been there. They've been close. They've been good teams. They just haven't been great teams. I like Beebs 8616. I bumped into an Eagle fan earlier today, and he saw me in my Cowboys hoodie, and he said, my condolences. I told him, thanks for Parker. And there's Help Me, Rhonda. I'm here listening. Hi, Mark. Working in the Bat Cave, and I smashed that like button. Yeah, I know you up there smashing there, Rhonda. We know you smashing. Dak was a product. Oh, wait. Okay, now, Bobby. That ain't even funny. I don't know what's going on, man. That was not even funny. We all know in the NFL, if you can't play, you ain't going to be there. It don't matter what color you are. A guy who had 30 TDs, 4,552 yards, 10 interceptions, who literally, I know we weren't that exceptional, weren't with our defense. Jalen Hurts has never had numbers anywhere close to that. And you want to talk about somebody who's a bus driver, that's Jalen Hurts. He has been on exceptional teams. He had a 2,000-yard rusher. Bro, last time we had a Zeke Elliott as a good running back was 2019. We ain't had anybody until Javonte Williams this year who got 1,200 yards, over 1,050 yards. You had the best offensive line in football that was balling. A 2,000-yard rusher, a good tight end, and two great wide receivers, and a really good defense. And you didn't ask like we asked Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, it's the same thing with Tony Romo, with the exception of 2007. 2007, that's on Romo. We had a great team and a great defense. You are literally asking every single week for Dak Prescott to win. Every freaking week. Your team and your guy, how many games in the second half could you not even score? Could not score anything. Because you had a great defense and a great team, you were able to overcome that and make the playoffs. You're going to come in here and say Dak Prescott is a DEI hire? Come on, bro. That ain't cool. That ain't cool at all, man. I don't see Rhonda in the chat. She's on the other stream. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you. The Eagles are about to have a terrible season. And I think that's the problem with Eagle fans right now. They're pissed off because they see it changing in front of their eyes. They recognize it ain't going to be like it was last year. That right now, the team is getting older, broke down, and there's chinks in the armor. How much is Dak paying me? Dak ain't paying me shit. I wish he were. Alan Williams, an excuse for inferior intelligence. Okay. Lady Libra has always been hit. Always. Yeah, and I like my Afghan's warm. It's real warm. Shout out to you, Nico. Damn, now you made me lose my train of thought there, man. I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy that you send me an email that tells me, do better and stop the hate. And you come in and say there's so much hate going on. And then you come through and you do exactly what you say not to do. The Eagles without the tush push wouldn't even get close to the playoffs. Dallas will suck with the Eagles. I'm not worried. Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll see. You were before saying you were going to sweep us. Now you're saying you're going to. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm just going to leave it alone. Okay. You do you, Bobby. You do you. Junior Ramirez. What's up, Mark? Williams. That doesn't sound cool to say. Sugar Daddy Williams. Listen, what I've always wanted to be here is a place to get away from the bullshit. I'm 60 years old, same age as the Super Bowl. Most of the people in here are people that are older people in here that have been friends and fans for a long time. And for whatever reason, some people can't stand to see that happen. I don't have any ill will for Eagle fans. Philly 509, we're buddies. We're friends. And I hope I got a brand new push broom so I can sweep our floors. I hope we can get back to just having fun and talking football and a little bit of smack, without it being crazy. The world is crazy right now. And there's so much hate and animosity and, people get, everybody is, instead of going out there and getting theirs and working for stuff, they're pissed off that it's not just falling in their lap. I get up in the morning. I'm thankful to be there with my beautiful wife. I go through, I try and put out content. I work trying to make the world a better place and make a living. I try and put the content out and do well. And I understand that what I put into stuff is what I get out of it. If I don't put in the work, I can't expect things to get to me, to come my way. This generation, I'm sorry, y'all want to sit around and just complain and say, he's got something, I'm supposed to have it without putting in the fucking work. You can do or be anything that you want, but you got to work your ass off to get it. And that's what I've always tried to do. And I've tried to pull others along with me along the way. But the hate is always there. The hate is always there. Nico, Eagle fan. Queen Cockroach, I called her. Or actually, she said she's Queen Cockroach. She gave me something that I'm going to cherish forever. And I appreciate that. And that's the way it should be with a rivalry. We should be thankful that, you got you got the Cowboys to talk smack about. I'm thankful I got the Eagles to talk smack about. 2007 playoff loss was Patrick Creighton for slowing up in the route and talked about his regret to this day. All right, Fashion, you okay? Thank you very much for what we do. We appreciate you very much. All right, people. I hope that for an hour that I was a value add for you guys. If I wasn't, by all means, don't waste your hour. Life is short and life is crazy right now. You don't know which side is up, and you got to make sure you can find things that you can do that you enjoy right now. I appreciate y'all, and tomorrow, 5 o'clock, we have our members calling show. Sunday, we have the Super Bowl, and then the season is over. I'm going to turn out the lights, and I'm going to get up under the covers. And I'll see you soon.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over.
Gotcha, Alan.
And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.